Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and or listening to the podcast, and welcome back to my house. It's time for a ServiceNow Store highlights video or episode. That's version 10142024. We're talking October 14th, 2024. If you look at the just above my head, the last time I came to you with an episode was 9/23. We had 39 new or updated applications, and a few days after that episode released, Hurricane Helene came through Asheville, which is where I live, and disrupted our entire lives. And so I've been on a hiatus for 3 weeks. I'll spare you the details because I want to focus on the episode. But what I've done is I've consolidated all 3 of those weeks into a new episode for today's episode. And there are 182 new updated or removed applications in the ServiceNow Store since our last episode. That breakdown for you is 4 compatibility updates, 3 downgrades, 43 fixes, 4 ghost applications, 23 highlights, 62 minor updates, 20 new releases, and 23 release notes fails. Now I invite you to go over to my blog. It's justin.house. Just type in your browser justin.house, and that will take you to my blog. There will be a post there for this episode where I'll have every application listed out, clickable, referencing the ServiceNow Store. Right now, my internet bandwidth is so bad that I'm going to stay in my PDI in my instance to record this episode, so we're not going to jump out the ServiceNow site like we normally do. Maybe we'll get back to that in the future, but I'm having really poor internet connection issues because of everything that's happened after the hurricane. So let's jump into those compatibility updates. Again, there were 4 of them. DeepL Translator Service by TM Labs, Endpoint Central, Hexaware Platform Inspector or HPI, and Remote Access Plus. Most of those were Xanadu. They might have all been Xanadu. I just can't remember specifically, but they're compatible. They're being updated to be compatible with the new release of ServiceNow. There were 3 downgrades. Let me explain what a downgrade is. When I clicked on the application because it updated, it's now on a version that's older than the most recent version, meaning they've downgraded the application. They've withdrawn the newer version from the store. You can still see it, but the only thing you can download to your instance is the downgraded version. So that's what a downgrade is. There were 3 of them. AMI Asset Track Model Cleanup, Healthcare Computerized Maintenance Management System, and the Microsoft Teams Communication Spoke both had downgrades to the versions you can see there on the screen. All right, there were 43 fixes. This is going to take us a minute to get through. I'll just read through those at devsnc/sn-uibtk-element-navigator. It's basically a component or a dependency on UI Builder Toolkit. Advanced AI search management tools, collaboration calendar, conversational integration with Microsoft Teams, decision table builder, DocuSign e-signature spoke, employee center, Entrust certificate manager, feedback app, GitHub spoke, Google directory spoke, Google Drive spoke, hardware asset management, integration hub ETL, Jira spoke, meeting extensions for Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Azure DevOps board spoke, Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager spoke, mobile SDK libraries for iOS, My Sheets. We'll head over to page 2. Now Assist for code generation, Now Assist for creator metrics, Now Assist summarization insights, planned maintenance management, planned work management, policy as code engine, process automation experience demo, project workspace, recorded future for vulnerability response, rich text editor component for security operations, security incident response UI, service bridge for consumers, service bridge for providers, service graph connector for Landsweeper, service graph connector for Qualys, ServiceNow Enterprise Asset Management, ServiceNow IDE, ServiceNow Remote Instance Spoke, Site Reliability Operations, UI Builder. Headed over to page 3 to round us out. We have VMware ARIA Automation Plugin, Vonage Spoke, and Vulnerability Response Licensing and Usage. So those are our minor updates. That's a lot of R's in a row. Hours and hours. All right, so that's the 43 fixes. There were 4 ghost applications. A ghost application means it is no longer showing in the ServiceNow store. In fact, that I don't mind clicking on because that should load relatively quickly compared to what the other stuff when I'm trying to load pictures. But essentially, these 4 applications disappeared from the store. No notice about why or anything. There's just application cannot be found, which is what you see there on the center of the screen or what I just read out loud. So that's what a ghost application is. Again, there were 4 of them. Global Reporting Initiative, or GRI, Content Accelerator for ESG, Service Graph Connector for Extra Hop, Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, or SASB, Content Accelerator for ESG, and Table Builder for App Engine. All were our ghost applications for this episode. There were 23 highlights, and the highlights are stuff I want you to go look at because there's cool new features or changes, enhancements, stuff like that, especially if you have this application or you're subscribed to it. That list is Avanair RFP Flow, Avanair RFP Flow Supplier Portal, Automate Pro, Checks Marks CX SAST Vulnerability Integration, CodeWorks, Connect Quick, Doc Integrator, Environmental Health and Safety Incident and Investigation, Financial Services Operations Integration with Visa, IAM Application, Inspection and Audit Management, Now Assist Usage Tracker, Primary Data Integration with Oracle, Primary Data Integration with SAP, Security Scorecard for IT Service Management, Serenity Core, Serenity AI, Sphinx Integrated Financial Management, Sourcing and Procurement Operations Integration with SAP, T-Systems Connector. Headed over to page 2 now to get the last remaining applications. There should be 3 of them in the list there. And they are Vulnerability Response Integration with Dragos, Vulnerability Response Integration with HCL AppScan, and UDesign. And that is our list of highlights. So again, highlights are something I want to call your attention to because there might be something interesting. And stuff like minor updates is stuff that may not be that interesting. So it's a minor update. We have 62 minor updates in this episode. 1E ITSM Connect, Accounts Payable Operations Integration with SAP, Accounts Payables Operations Integration with Oracle, API Service Graph Connector for Apigee X, BMC Remedy Spoke, CloudBees CI Integration, CMDB CI Class Models, Cross Connector for Solution Manager, CrowdStrike Falcon Endpoint for Security Operations, Dispute Rules Content Pack for MasterCard, Dispute Rules Content Pack for Visa, Document Service Framework for Google Drive, Document Service Framework for OneDrive, eCountable, Employee Center Pro, ERP Integration Framework, Finance Common Architecture, Financial Services Card Operations, Financial Services Operations Core, FSM Configurable Dispatcher Workspace, FSM Configurable Workspace, GoToResolve, GRC LexisNexis Integration, International Mobile Service Automation, Knowledge and Search Metrics, Kyndryl Integration Outbound Base, No Name Integration for CMDB, Office Templater, Oracle EBS Spoke, Qualys CMDB Bidirectional Sync, SAP Ariba Spoke, SAP ECC IDOC Spoke, SAP ECC RFC Spoke, SAP S4HANA IDOC Spoke, SAP S4HANA RFC Spoke, SBOM Response, Security Operations Forta Analyzer Integration version 2, Service Bridge Base, Service Bridge Remote Process Sync Transport, and Service Graph Connector for Avantra. Head over to our 3rd page now. Service Graph Connector for AWS, Service Graph Connector for CrowdStrike, Service Graph Connector for Dragos, Service Graph Connector for GCP, Service Graph Connector for Nozomi Networks, and Service Graph Connector for Verve Industrial Protection. SN FSM Components, SN Task Planner, Source-to-Pay Common Architecture, Source-to-Pay Workspace, Supplier Lifecycle Operations Integration with Oracle, Supplier Lifecycle Operations Integration with SAP, Terraform, Transporter, UiPath Spoke, Utility Action Spoke, UXC Generative AI, Visa Spoke, Vulnerability Response Integration with Veracode, and X-Spoke, formerly the Twitter Spoke. Our last 2 applications in the minor updates are XM Cyber VR Integration and Zafran Risk and Mitigation for Vulnerability Response. Those were our minor updates. We do have 20 new releases. Let's go ahead and expand that and we'll run through those here. Again, I usually like to click on these and share a little bit more, but because of my bandwidth issues, I encourage you to check out my blog, justin.house or justin.house. Let's get started. Apigee from Apigee, CDW ePro ASN from CDW Logistics, DocuSign IAM from DocuSign, EY Beyond Customer Duty from Ernst & Young LLP, FMDB Financial Management Database from Nika Software Incorporated, iIdea Connect from iIdea America Corp, Infosys Enterprise Service Management Cafe or ESM Cafe from Infosys Limited, INRI Deskless Worker Experience from INRI, ITOM Cloud License Estimator from ServiceNow, Captius MSP 360 Service Hub from Captius Ltd, Neuron7.ai Core App from Neuron7 Incorporated, and New Rocket Translation Assistant from New Rocket LLC. Rounding out the bottom there, OB Intelligent Automation That Works from Orange Business Services US Incorporated, Qualys Container Vulnerability Response Integration from Qualys Inc., Rescue Live Lens from LogMeIn, Right Prompt Smart Assurance from Right Prompt Technologies PVT Ltd, Security Scorecard for Security Incident Response from Security Scorecard Inc., Smartsheet SPM integration from Workflow, sourcing and procurement operations integration with Oracle from ServiceNow, and Stack Guardian from Stack Guardian. Those are our new releases, which leaves us with the release notes fails. If you haven't seen an episode before, a release note fails is that simply there are no release notes, repeated release notes, or links to paywalls where I can't see the release notes. It's a fail because I can't tell you what's new, what's updated with the application, and so we put them in their own little category. So that list for you is Advanced ADP Connector Global Payroll, Automation Discovery, Black Kite Vendor Risk Management, BT Digital Services CMDB Sync, BT Digital Services IAM and SRM, Conformity Connector, Cora Your Future IT Field Support, COZ Pro, Data Content Manager, Expander Configuration Compliance, Guardrails, Iron Stream IBM iService Mapping, ITSM Analytics, ITSM Success Dashboard Indicators, Mobile SDK Libraries for Android, NetBrain Automation Integration, Savient Identity Governance, ServiceNow Benchmarks, Shippy's Core, and Success Dashboard Common. And those are Success Dashboard Core, Tech Assist, and Unacceptable Behavior Case Management. And that, everyone, is our abbreviated episode due to my bandwidth and internet issues from Hurricane Helene. Hopefully our next episode you'll have a little bit more pizzazz to it, but let's just review what you just saw or heard. That was 20 new releases, 23 highlights, 4 compatibility updates, 62 minor updates, 4 ghost applications, 43 fixes, 3 downgrades, and 23 release notes fails. I hope you found this video or podcast helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what's new, what was updated, or what was removed from the ServiceNow store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.